Hello guys, how are you today? How's everything? How's your energy? I hope it's good at high level, and you're keeping yourself positive all the time or most of the time. Today we are in lesson 13, okay, unit 4 of upper intermediate new headway level. Actually, we are 7 lessons, I think, far from the end of this part, because as I mentioned before, this book is divided into 2 parts. The first part is 6 units and the second part is 6 units, okay, including all the skills you need to learn: listening, speaking, also writing, okay. But as you noticed, okay, they don't focus on writing that much. The focus here is a lot on grammar, on expressions, vocabulary, reading, and listening. Okay. If you need like any ideas or any tips about writing, please send me. We can handle this. Any suggestions are welcomed as usual. Today we are going to continue with the insane man, also like Milton. Okay, Milton is kind of manic, which is like insane or like weird or strange or not ordinary man. Okay, so he has some problems. We're going to this part is all as I mentioned is listening, because we got the listening part. Okay, listening and speaking. Milton has some difficulties. Okay, we're going to go through them and learn about them, and also we're going to talk about him, mentioning all the details, using negative questions and negative information, how to state situations using negative questions, and also tag questions here, but more into negative questions, start to express our surprise, interest, agreement, and or disagreement, or if we are asking for agreement and disagreement. This is what we are going to talk about, and then we have like a spoken language. The spoken language is about how come to when you use the word or the expression how come, you're asking for more information from the other person or the partner to give you more information. Like, when I say generally, like I wake up late on weekends, so I say to a friend or to someone, actually this weekend I woke up at 7 o'clock or 7 a.m. So he said, like, how come? Means like, why? Because generally it's something different, okay? So this is what we are going to talk about. Let's see the expressions of Milton. Okay, we have like different faces here, different expressions. Are you ready to start? Let's start. Here's the first question about Milton. But before, we have some vocabulary to learn about. Make a negative statement or sentences about these people. Use your dictionary. Let me give you the meanings of this vocabulary, and let's try to make negative statements about them. Vegans are people who don't eat meat. Okay, so we can say vegans don't eat meat, or they never eat any meat, or they don't even eat any animal products. Not yogurt, not egg, not milk, cheese, none of these. Okay, so the negative statement here could be like, don't vegans eat meat or animal products, something like this. Okay, atheists are people who are unbeliever or don't believe in God. Okay, so we can say here, don't atheists believe in God. Okay. Also here, like teetotalers, people who never drink alcohol. Okay, they are non-drinkers. So we say don't teetotalers drink alcohol, whiskey, or vodka or something like this. Insomniacs, people who have problems sleeping well or sleeping in general. So here we say like the same idea, okay, or the same statement, don't insomniacs sleep well. Dyslexics, people who have problem in speaking or reading or spelling words, okay. The same statement. Pacifists, people who don't go to war or they don't support war, they support peace. They try to be peaceful all the time, or they are peaceful all the time. They never go to fights. Okay. Here, naturists, people who don't wear clothes outwear, or they believe that they can't wear, or they don't want to wear clothes outside or in the nature because of some of them have like religious reasons, or for healthy or health reasons, or also because of thinking of like this is what it should be in nature, because okay, they have to be naked, something like this. Okay, so they don't wear clothes outdoors. Okay, guys, so here this is what we have to learn about this vocabulary. As we said, like naturists don't wear clothes. Okay, don't naturists, like you can just make the kind of inversion and then the negative statement is clear and ready. These words to be memorized for sure, because they are very important. Exercise 5, we have listened to the first part of the description of a man called Milton. Which words in exercise 4 describe him? Make some negative statements about him, okay? Like here they gave us an example, like he cannot sleep, he doesn't have a job. Okay, so let's listen to this part about Milton, okay? And we have a friend who's describing him, because here my maniac mate means a friend or colleague, or could be roommate, classmate, workmate, whatever, okay? And here, as I said, maniac means crazy. Let's listen. Okay, guys, before we listen, I wanted to check his facial expressions, okay, to know how, oh come on, let's move, okay, to guess something about this man. Look at his facial expressions. He doesn't seem normal, okay? And his friend is trying to describe his situation, okay? So we are going to listen to take the main ideas about Milton, a main description. Also, guys, like we have some listening goals. I think you know them. The listening goals, that is to understand the main point. Okay, this is the main idea about the listening and how to learn the skill. Also, we have to the main idea, or the gist we call it. It's like what's the whole text about. Okay. Also, we have to listen to, or when we are going to listen to a part, we need to pay attention to some details. These details are like other details. They are important and they are related to the gist, okay? And key expressions also can help us to learn more about the everyday language and the language that you hear in. Actually, it depends on the topic you're listening to. If it's like related to science, to biology, to geography, to history, so you will find some key expressions that are related to the topic, and these expressions are very important to be written down, to be memorized, because you never know when you need them. Talking about this, if you're planning to go into IELTS or TOEFL, you need to learn expressions from different fields or domains, like as I mentioned, history, art, science, literature, zoology, like, you know, things related to animals and biology and, you know, different things. So whenever you listen to something, okay, also psychology, okay, and physiology. So whenever you are listening to a part, okay, and you have some kind of key expressions or expressions that are related to the topic or to this science or to this field or domain, they are to be written down and to be memorized for later. Okay, let's now listen to the friend, okay, talking about Milton. Are you ready? Okay, let's listen.
Tape script 4.4, part 1.
My mate Milton is a funny guy. He's an insomniac, he's dyslexic, and he's an atheist. He's single, unemployed, and lives all alone in a tiny one-roomed flat without even a pet for company. Also, he's vegetarian and teetotal. He's pretty antisocial, actually.
Okay, guys, this listening is short, but I think like it was short and clear to know all the information about Milton. Milton is an insomniac. It means he can't sleep very well. Okay, dyslexic and an atheist. Also a vegetarian and teetotaler. Okay, the answers here, like about the first question. First, when we said like we can make some negative statements about him. So we say he can't sleep because we already said he's insomniac. Okay, he cannot spell or read well. He doesn't believe in God because he's an atheist. He doesn't have a wife because he isn't married, he's single. And he doesn't have a job because we said he's unemployed, okay? Yeah, this is what we wanted to say. And also he doesn't have a flat or a place to live. He doesn't have a pet for company at home. He doesn't eat meat. He doesn't drink alcohol, or he isn't very sociable because we said, or his friend said, like he's antisociable. These are the negative statements you can say about Milton. He's a funny guy. Okay, I think he's abnormal guy, not a funny guy. Anyway, guys, like here, let's move to the spoken English. How come? Surprise. Okay, so how come to express surprise? Let's read it. How come can be used in informal spoken English instead of why. They don't have exactly the same meaning. Listen to the questions. Which expression, which express surprise? Okay, let's move to number 5. Okay, track 5. To know which one express surprise, we have these 2 sentences. Let's listen, guys.
Tape script 4.5.
Why can't he sleep?
Why can't he sleep? Okay. Or in other words, we can say, how come he can't sleep? The second.
How come he can't sleep?
Why did he lose his job?
Why did he lose his job? Or how come he lost his job?
How come he lost his job? He loved his work.
Okay, so why can't he sleep? This is like to ask for information. How come he can't sleep? To express surprise. Why did he lose his job? This is to ask for information or for the reason. How come he lost his job? He loved his job or his work. Okay, so here to express surprise. Why? To ask for the reason. And how come? To ask for or to show surprise or to express surprise. Okay? Now, let's continue to exercise number 6 about him. Listen to the full description of Milton. There are lots of contradictions. Okay? Complete the questions about him using how come. Before we listen to the statements, these are the sentences. He lives in a tiny one-roomed flat, so how come he came downstairs to the living room? Okay, so we will have, from the question, you can understand that we'll have some false information about Maniac Milton, okay? And we are to correct them. Ready? Let's listen.
Tape script 4.6. Part 2.
I went round to see Milton last Sunday. As I walked up the drive, his dog started barking. His wife answered the door and she called for Milton to come downstairs and join us in the living room. He was in a bad mood because he had overslept that morning and had been late for church. He also had a bit of a hangover, which he told me was the result of a wild party that they'd had at his house the night before. They'd had a barbecue in the garden with steaks and burgers. One of his favourite pastimes is doing crosswords, and he spends every lunch break at work doing them. "So, how are you, Milton?" I asked him. "KO, mate, KO. How about you?" Anyway, as I said, Milton's an insomniac, dyslexic atheist. So the joke is that he lies awake all night wondering about the existence of dog. Get it?
Okay, the last part of the listing was a joke. Okay, the joke about Milton. Milton, we said, like, he spent all the night, trying to spell or to think of the existence of dogs. Okay, and of course, because he's insomniac, because he has difficulty spelling, so he meant God. Okay, of course, not dog. So the man was trying to give a joke, okay? Or to tell a joke. Now, and when he asked him about how he is and how he feels, he said, KO, KO means like okay, okay, but, because of, his, as we said, dyslexics. So he said like KO instead of okay, and he spelled dog instead of God because the disability to read well. Okay, now I think you got the ideas, okay, about the contradictions we have here in the reading or in the listening. First, he's single, so how come his wife opened the door or answered the door? Okay, so this is how we are going to express it. He hasn't got any pets, so how come his dog started barking? Barking the voice of or the sound of dogs. Okay, he's an atheist, so how come he had been for a church or for church? Okay, he's dyslexic, and how come his favorite pastime or free time activity is crosswords? Crosswords is like, crosswords when you have a sentence telling you the meaning of a word, and the word must be in charts, or in columns, black and white, something like this. So people who have, a difficulty spelling words and reading won't find it easy to make crosswords or to solve crosswords. So this is, these two ideas are contradicting each other. He's unemployed, so how come he spent every lunch at work? Okay, he doesn't have a job doing crosswords. He's a teetotaler, and how come he had a hangover? Hangover is like, kind of headache you have after drinking so much alcohol. After drinking alcohol so much. So how come he has he had hangover, and he's a teetotal? He's a vegetarian, so how come he had a barbecue with the steaks and burgers? Okay, people who are vegans or vegetarians don't eat meat or animal products. He's antisocial, so how come he had a wild party? Okay, so these are the ideas that are contradicting each other about Milton and his what the man said about him, and his let me say traits and descriptions. Okay, guys, so here I think it's enough about Milton. Let's move to asking for more information. We can respond to statement with a short question to ask for more information. Milton had a barbecue in the garden. Who with? He lies awake all night wondering what about. Okay, so here to talk about these sentences using short questions at the end, or not at the end, like from the other partner or speaker, to ask about information. Write short questions with a preposition to answer these statements, okay? She, let me say, like when I'm talking here, she gave away all her money. Gave away all her money like she gave it to someone, okay? With no return or something like this, no in return. So we can say like who to, okay? She gave away all her money. Who to? Number 2, can I have a word with you, please? What about? I danced all night. Okay, who with? And then, do you think you could give me a lift? Where to? I got a lovely present today. Who from? I bought a birthday card today. Who for? I'm thinking, what about? And I need 5,000 pound urgently. What for? Okay. Yeah, this is how we make, short questions. To ask for more information. Kind of, how to make a conversation and how to communicate using, simple, easy, easy, simple language. Make the short questions into longer ones. Who did Milton have barbecue with? Okay. What is he wondering about? Okay, guys, let's do this one. And it's not that difficult, okay? About them, yeah, like who did she give it to? About number 1, who did she give it to? Then we have in number 2. Let me check something here. Yes, okay. What do you want to have a word about? Okay, what do you want to have a word about? Who did you once dance with? This is for number 3. Number 4, where do you want to a lift to? Number 5, who did you get it from? Or for, sorry. Number 6, where did you buy it from? Or let me say, no, here we can make it in a different way. Who did you buy it for? Who did you buy it for? Because the present for someone. Number 7, what are you thinking about? And number 8, what do you want? What do you need it for? Okay, these are the sentences. Like here, when we talk about the money. What do you need it for? Let's listen and check. But I think it's clear, guys. This is 4.7. Let's listen.
Tape script 4.7. 1.
Who did she give it to?
Yes.
2. What do you want to have a word about? 3.
Who did you dance with?
4.
Where do you want to lift to?
5.
Who did you get it from?
6.
Who did you buy it for?
Yes, this is about the present.
7.
What are you thinking about?
8.
What do you need it for?
Okay, so what we did was correct. Here now let's move to listening and speaking. Actually, first I want to apologize, okay? Because the book and the track, the audios, have some missings, okay? Missing tracks. We couldn't find them in any way. We couldn't download them. We couldn't find them to download them. Okay, so this listening is missing, but it's all about people telling lies, people talking about their experiences. This is what we got from here. Okay, telling lies when they were like younger, and how did it happen? Why? For what reasons? So here, like they are telling us, did you ever tell or play practical jokes as a child? I think we all did. And do you have a guilty secret that you have kept hidden? Okay. This is an embarrassing question, but you know, talking about childhood, if we are talking about this, and if we are in a group asking students about, you know, their past experiences and hidden secrets, I think we will have a lot of funny stories talking about this. I think we all had, you know, fun, you know, practical jokes to our friends, maybe our teachers when we were at school. If you were like naughty, or I don't want to say naughty. I want to say like, you know, troublemakers at school and classroom. To our parents. To our like relatives, cousins, grandma, grandpa. So I think we all have hidden secrets that now we feel like how funny they were, how nice they were, and how innocent they were. If I'm talking about childhood, okay, not all of them, of course, were innocent. Some of them like could cause a lot of trouble. Some of them could be or could have been harmful, I think, and caused problems. Yes, I can remember one of them that I got. I wasn't a troublemaker when I was a kid, but one of the jokes that practical jokes that that my sister, you know, played was. Caused me a lot of injury because of, you know, fighting over a bicycle, something like this, you know, like childhood is good. Okay, anyway, you can talk about this, but the listening here doesn't have any track. If you notice, like it's 4.8. If you go back to the audios, 4.8 is missing. Okay, we have 4.6, 4.7 and 4.9 immediately after it. I tried to download it, I tried to search for it many times, but it's missing from the original version, so I'm so sorry for that. They were like telling us about, it was like about 4 people speaking on their, you know, the radio program called Confessions. Yes, these people will talk about, you know, what they did when they were young. They are Roberts, Kevin, Jane, and Maggie. So I don't want to say more about this because I have no clue about the listening. We're gonna skip it to move to the reading section because, as I mentioned before here, like, you know, we have 2 exercises about it. Okay, I never known. So let's go. But first, I want you to, before we go to the reading section and the speaking, we have some words here to be memorized and expressions. They are very nice, okay? These expressions are talking about, you know, like die-hard supporter. Die-hard supporter means like you are very loyal to, if I'm talking about, you know, a team. It could be a team, you know, a football team, baseball team, whatever team. Okay, so die-hard supporter means that you are very loyal and you cannot change your support to this team. Okay, eager audience means like, you know, excited and paying a lot of attention. Here also. Yeah, made my blood run cold. Okay, what do we mean by this expression? Okay, it's nice expression. I like it. Okay, made my blood run cold. Okay, what does that mean? Do you have any clue? No? Of course, it means like when I say made my blood run cold means fear, okay? You were horrified, you were frightened, you were afraid. Okay. Talking about extra ingredients. Extra ingredient means like when you say like, oh, this is like you're speaking about something and you say you add something and you say this is an extra ingredient. It means it's not essential, it's not important, it doesn't affect the, you know, what you are or what you were talking about. Okay, so this is the idea of extra ingredient. Means like it doesn't have to, or it doesn't you know, refer to direct information. It's like extra one. Again, as I said, like eager audience means I said like paying a lot of attention. Talking about glistering treasure, it means like glistening treasure means like very valuable, very it's like shiny, like golden jewels. Okay, so we're talking about glistening treasure. Stretch a scalding hot means about the, if I'm talking about a soup or about something hot, means like you are trying to reinforce the temperature of it. Okay, like this means very, very hot. So you say like scalding hot. Okay. Also, okay. When I say waving frantically, it means frantically here gives the impression that, you were very desperate to get someone's attention, okay? Yeah, this is what I wanted to say about this. Stretch their legs here means like, you feel comfortable. Okay. What do you think? Who do you give? Who do you forgive? Okay, so let's move to the reading because here we're done. Reading and speaking. Is Princess Diana living on the moon? Guys, here we're going to talk about two events. These two events, like, had a lot of rumors, a lot of, exaggeration, a lot of theories, hoaxes, and, assumptions about how they happened, okay, or why they happened, and the results, and things like that. The most important events were like the death of Princess Diana, okay, and the Apollo moon landings. These two events, somehow affected history, okay, and we are going to read about how they affected, what rumors and theories we had about them, both of them, okay, why both of them had these two, or these, like, exaggerations, a lot of exaggerations, and talking about, how serious they were, okay? First, we are going to move directly to the sentence, and then we can talk more about the details of each event. Okay, as I said, is Princess Diana living on the moon? The first question is, what do you know about the following events? Discuss in groups. Okay, the death of Princess Diana and the Apollo moon landings. Okay, the Apollo moon landings, it's like, the first landing on the moon. Many people doubted and questioned this event. People said like it's not. They are not on the moon. The Apollo didn't land on the moon. For Princess Diana, many people said like, she died in a car accident in Paris, okay, but they questioned how she died and why she died and if she is dead or not, okay. Now we have fact file. Before we go to the fact file, let's read more questions, and maybe the questions can give you like some ideas about these two events, okay. Number one here, what are the different conspiracy theories? Conspiracy is like, when you have a lot of people making a plan to, generally a bad plan, okay, to get someone involved in something, or, that causes a lot of, destruction maybe, or a lot of a failure, or, it leads generally into bad consequences and results and feedbacks. Here, let's talk about, as we said, what are the different conspiracy theories mentioned. Write a list in note form. Number two, what proof is given to support them. So some people make theories and they give the proof for them. What are the reasons suggested for hiding the true facts? Good. So what can you think of here? How has the internet or the media played a part in this? Which is the most important thing, okay? And now it's more than like before. Whenever you have an event, so social media is, it's way more than, it was before. Back to the days of Diana and Apollo, Princess Diana and Apollo. Now it's like way more, because whenever you have a very small event, it's exaggerated with a lot of rumors, and it can cause more problems than, and it can be more serious than it really is. Okay, so because of social media, exaggeration, rumors, and playing and planning plots to make the thing that is it's really exaggerated, but it's trivial and not important one. So here, after social media and media in general, newspapers but it's not now, how it played a role in spreading the theories and these exaggerations and talking about that what happened. Let's move to Diana. Vocabulary book. Read the sentences below. Find words in the texts which mean the same as those underlined. First, let's talk about the expressions here, and then we are going to move to the reading. The huge number of websites is absolutely amazing. The florist devised a clever but wicked plot to murder Diana. Okay, so here people are questioning the death, of Diana. Is it like a death because of an accident, a car accident, or it was a murder? The car crash was carefully planned trick, not a boring traffic accident. Okay, I don't believe any of these theories. Someone in the royal family devised a plot, devised like made, planned a plot to interfere with the brakes of the car. The brakes, the device or the thing that we use to stop the car. Okay. This is related to Diana. Now, going to moon landings, rumors have been going around for many years. Of course, the underlined words have different meanings from the reading. We are going to, spot them later when we read. The U.S. flag is seen blowing on, and there is no wind on the moon. Okay. Fantastic exhibition of stars. This is number 3. Weathering of fantastic exhibition. Scientists have all agreed that the theories don't have an argument. Theorists, people who make theories or who create theories. NASA has been desperately trying to hide evidence of life on the moon, maybe. So let's, what do you think? Here, you can say, you can see the flag, the American flag is blowing, and as was proven, there is no wind on the moon. Okay, so what was it? Was it really a step for man on the moon, or no? Till now, theories, and no evidence, no final clue for this. Okay, what do you think? Which theories are the most believable? Of course, you are going to think of all of this after reading, okay? Which are the most unbelievable? What is it about the internet that breeds such theories? Think of recent major news event and work in your groups to devise conspiracy theories about it. No, I don't think we need more. Okay, anyway, why not? We can make different opinions about this. Describe the event and your theories to the class. Why do you think it happened that way, not this way? Your opinion, how to defend your opinion, guys. Okay. Are you ready to start the reading? Okay, so let's start. Let's start the reading, guys. Okay, the first Diana conspiracy site appeared on the internet in Australia only hours after her death on August 31st, 1997. Since then, an estimated 36,000 Diana conspiracy websites have been set up. Breathtaking by anyone's standards, hypotheses range from pure James Bond, it was all an M16 plot to protect the monarchy. Okay, to farce, it was like a Finnish murder plot thought up by the world's florist to sell lots of flowers. This is ridiculous to me. I don't know. Like, I feel like, no, it's not correct. And most popular of all, Diana, Princess of Wales, isn't dead after all. That terrible car crash in Paris was an elaborate hoax to enable the princess and Judy Fayed to fake their own death so that they could live in blissful isolation for the rest of their lives. Okay. Yeah, here we're talking about, Judy Fayed was died also in the same car accident. He was with her in the car. Okay, Judy Fayed is the son of Muhammad al-Fayed. Okay, he's a very, 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 very rich businessman and the owner of Harrods in London. Okay, let's continue to know more about the death of Diana and more, conspiracies and things like that. Okay, subscribers to this theory say that Diana was fed up with the intrusions into her private life and used the wealth and the resources of the Fayed family to fake her death. Okay, so Diana was fed up, like she cannot stand and she cannot take any intrusions. Intrusions means like when someone intrudes in your life, okay, means like he tries to control your life or to make decisions related to your life without your own permission. Okay, she's a princess, so she cannot take the whole control of her life. They said like she was done with this. Anyway, let's continue. And now she and Judy are living on a small tropical island, communicating with her sons by satellite video conferencing. Okay, think about it. They say we never actually saw her body, did we? Her body means, after she died, no one saw her body. So they made this because they made the theory because nobody saw her body. So they think that she's alive somewhere. Okay. On isolated island, tropical isolated island. Could be, we never know, but this is one of the theories. Anyway, let's move to the second part. Okay, they say here, if you don't believe in this, all of this, okay, or the previous theories, don't worry about this, we have more. Okay, you don't buy into any of the theories, don't worry, there are plenty more to choose from. Okay. Actually, in such a huge event, okay, you never run out of theories and rumors and hoaxes and assumptions and allegations and things like that. Anyway, for example, Paul Pearl, Diana's former butler here, like the head servant in a house or something like this for her. Okay. Claims that the princess predicted her own death in a car accident. Apparently, she was so frightened that 10 months before her death, she wrote to Parole saying that a plot was being made, okay, by a member of the royal family, and her car's brakes would be tampered with, and she would suffer serious head injuries. This is what her head servant said, okay? And all of this so that the Prince of Wales could marry again her husband. Okay, we don't know. We cannot deny. And it's up to you to accept. Okay, now these theories multiply because it's so hard for us to believe that a princess with all her wealth and bodyguards, could be killed by something so arbitrary and mundane, like not important, not huge, not something like this, okay, as a traffic accident. Psychologically, we need you can take it, you can accept it. And the internet helps feed the global paranoia. Paranoia means like, you know, the events, okay? So, what do you think? What's your own theory about Diana's death? I don't know. Is it possible to be one of these, or like you have more, or you can have more? We never know. We never know. Okay, look at the newspapers titles here. The Sunday Telegraph and Princess Diana and Judy are killed in Paris car crash. Okay, the Sunday Times, Princess Diana and lover Judy die in Paris car crash. Also the Express on Sunday, okay, Diana is dead, 6 a.m. special, whatever, Princess and Judy killed in car smash. See, you know, like, and you will have a lot of theories and, you know, people speaking and analysis about this. I don't know. Okay. It's up to you to take what you read and not to take. So let's continue to the landing on the moon. Okay. For over 40 years, rumors have been circulating that the Apollo moon landings were faked. So till the moment, people still questioning this, okay? First, I wanted to look at, you know, here, this is like Apollo, okay? And the first step on the moon, you can see the shoes, the astronaut, Armstrong, okay. Let's read it. For over 40 years, rumors have been circulating that the Apollo moon landings were faked. They say astronaut Neil Armstrong made no giant leap on for mankind, because he said like this is like one step. I think he said one single step for a man, but it's a giant leap for mankind. Okay. They assert that the 1969 moon mission was a hoax. Hoax, like, you know, something unreal, true, you know, a lie, but a big one, to prove America won the space race. Okay, this is like can be reasonable. That the astronauts were astronauts. The high point in the Great Moon Landing conspiracy came on 15 February 2001, the date that Fox Television broadcast a program entitled "Did We Land on the Moon?" This alleged that the whole moon landing had been staged inside a film studio on the U.S. military base somewhere in the Mojave Desert. Okay, we don't know. Okay, let's continue what the program said. The programs claimed the U.S. flag planted on the moon's surface is seen, fluttering, and there is no breeze of any kind on the moon. So how come? The photographs taken by the astronauts do not include any of the moon's night sky, where there would have been a stunning array of stars on view, for sure. Okay. The shadows in the pictures are clearly coming from more than one angle, an impossibility on the moon, where the only light source is the sun, but more than plausible inside a film studio. One of the famed moon rocks brought back by the Apollo astronaut is marked with a telltale letter C, suggesting that the markings not on some alien's life force but of a film prop. Okay, let's continue with the second part. After the program, the internet went crazy with theories and counter theories. However, scientists have unanimously agreed that the conspiracy theories don't have even the beginnings of a case. Too many things about Apollo mission were impossible to fake. From the radio signals picked up at listening stations around the world, to the moon rocks, which have been subjected to repeated geological analysis and clearly date back several millennia. Okay, finally, there are the UFOs notes. They actually do believe that astronauts went to the moon, but that not only did they find a load of rocks, but also widespread evidence of widespread evidence of an ancient alien civilization. A discovery so terrifying that NASA has been desperately trying to conceal it from the public ever since. Okay, guys? Yep. This is what we talked about. Okay. Now let's move back to the questions. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's go back to question number 1. Read the sentences below, find words. Okay, now you can read them again at home, of course, and find all the meanings of the new words. I don't think you have a lot of new words because the two events are so familiar to you. Maybe you have some vocabulary that is related to the topic, especially I'm talking about the landing on the moon. Okay, so yeah, you can have the answers about them. Vocabulary work. Okay, this is like about Diana. Okay, what do you think is up to you? Okay, to think about what's this. Okay, now we talk about the meanings of absolutely amazing means like breathtaking. Okay, the florist devised a clever but wicked plot about to murder Diana. Okay, here means like thought up fiendish. Okay, thought up fiendish means like to devise a clever but wicked. Okay, plot like it's close to the word conspiracy, and these were thought up, made up. Okay, the car crash was carefully planned trick. Okay, elaborate, hoax or mundane. And the second one here, believe. They can you don't believe any of this, you don't buy. Okay, you don't take. And then the last one, number 5, interfere means like hatched or tamper. The words about the moon landings, we have going round, which means circulating, blowing, which means fluttering or breathe, wind means breeze, fantastic exhibition, it means like stunning array, and scientists have all agreed that the theorists don't have an argument means like even the beginning of a case. Okay, an argument, the beginning of a case. Okay, and the last one, which is trying to hide, conceal. Okay, these the meanings that were taken from the reading, the texts. Okay. The second about like what do you think, as I said, it's up to you to believe in them or not. Okay, to do them or not. What is it about the internet that breeds such theories, breeds like make more. Okay, actually we use the word breed for animals, like to have more members of animal or something like this. I think nowadays, okay, internet is the first source of information people are having or dealing with, and because most of it is not trusted. So you can find a lot of hoaxes, a lot of theories, a lot of conspiracies, and they can make, and not they, most of the time they make things worse, okay, because of exaggeration, adding information that are not true, faking information and sources of information also. It's turning now to be a crazy world related to the internet. It's a crazy world, and it's like I don't know, I can say like it's completely you need to be aware of what you are reading and what you are you have always to go for the trusted sites, websites, and go through them, or if you want to find any kind of information or source of information, you have to go to the trusted one, because a lot of people have job, okay, faking information and sources of information, okay, it's their job now. Anyway, the internet now is like the number one, okay, source of information, and reading theories, and that could be true and could be not. Okay, think of a recent major news event, and the recent major event is coronavirus, which is now like spreading all over the world, making the world as a deserted town. Keeping all the people in their houses, being afraid of getting infected, and for the people who are infected, the symptoms and the let me say the treatment, people are faking treatments for coronavirus. People are faking the numbers of people who are infected, and the people who died, and the people who are about to die or something like this, or lockdown, or so we have a lot of fake information about coronavirus. This is the most affected one, and by the way, they are playing on people's fears, especially when they talk about children, or talk about how hard to take the treatment in hospitals, and hospitals cannot take that number of patients infected by coronavirus, or with coronavirus. So it's so hard, and media plays on people's fears generally, okay, and by this way they can get their major success, because because of, I don't know, this is something psychological, and it's taught actually in how to advertise something. You have to play, and one of the ways to advertise something is to play on people's fears, okay, like when I'm advertising like toothpaste, okay, I talk about decay and pain, tooth pain, okay, so this is like, and people fear it because it's really painful, and they don't want to go through this pain, so they talk about this, and other people talk about the scientific benefits of and the health benefits they can take from toothpaste or something like this. But one of the ways to advertise something is playing on people's fears, and here related to coronavirus, people fear it because we can see our own eyes how people are suffering in hospitals, and breathing, and the number of people who died infected by this virus, and how easily you can get infected. Okay, just you need someone who is breathing next to you, someone who's infected, or who is having the virus without knowing. And because it needs like 14 days to know if you have the virus or not. So it's really harmful, and people cannot take this. So and we have people whose game whose game is to play on people's fears, and to exaggerate the numbers, and to make fake resources of I don't know, you are reading, you're going into websites every day, and I know that you most of you got fed up, okay, with this, and after like this time lockdown, quarantine, you don't read anymore. I am sure of this. Like you don't read that deep, as before. In the beginning, we were so afraid. We were reading in details. Nowadays, like you feel like this is too much. Okay, we go to the trusted sources of information, and that's it, which is like, related to health organizations, and somehow this, like, can be questioned sometimes, okay, to some people. So, but we need to go to, this is the most trusted source of information, which is health organizations. Okay, guys, this is what we talked about related to what was it? Diana's death, okay, and Apollo landing on the moon. We don't have more to add for today. What I want you to do is to read them again, okay? And next class we are going to go through the vocabulary lesson, okay? And the everyday English, finishing this unit, which is about, hoaxes, news, and newspapers, websites, and, media. And we're finishing next class. So see you on Wednesday. Have a great day. And that's it every day. Or what's this? That's it for today. And yeah, and that's it every day. This is what we do every day. So keep healthy, keep energetic, and see you. Goodbye. Enjoy your day.